जय श्री राधे। सब वैष्णवों को सादर सदैन्य सप्रेम सानंद जय श्री कृष्ण। श्री वल्लभाधीश की जय हो. Continuing in the readings of the biographies of the 252 Vaishnava disciples of Sri Gosaiji, we are now on day 206 and Varta 202, the story of one moneylender's son, a court officer's daughter, and a merchant's son, part 2. The moneylender's son and the officer's daughter were very fond of each other. They could not live without seeing each other, even for a second. When he grew up, the moneylender's son began to earn a living, and the officer's daughter also grew up and lived in the palace where her father officiated and had to be veiled in Parada. However, they could not live without seeing each other. One day the son addressed the daughter, "After today I should no longer come here to see you. We are both in our young adulthood. You are a girl, the daughter of an important man, and I am the son of my important father. People in society generally behave badly and have polluted minds. We are faultless and are brother and sister to each other. In fact, God, sister and brother. People won't know this and they will only think badly and cast aspersions upon us. It might not take long for problems to arise because of their attitudes, and that would be a big problem for us. When I come here to see you, my relatives get angry and are very unhappy. What to do? We cannot bear to live without seeing each other. Can we come up with a plan?" The court officer's daughter spoke out. "I cannot bear not to see you, and so you should happily continue to come here. Please do not cease coming this way. Please do not worry. Who can say anything to you? I am the daughter of a Rajput. If anyone so much as looks at me with impure eyes, I shall do away with them. We are innocent, and Sri Gosaiji always reigns supreme over us. His grace is most powerful. Therefore, why should we be anxious?" Hearing her words, the moneylender's son was very happy, and realized for sure that no one would be able to spoil their relationship. He would go to see her every night. When they met, they read the Srimad Bhagavatam together and sang the Lord's praises. Afterwards, the son of the moneylender returned home. His family members were very displeased with him. They objected to his behaviour, saying, "Where do you stay at that time of night?" They were very angry with him. However, he disregarded what they said. Many days passed in this manner. One morning, some of the king's men saw him leaving the court officer's house. They arrested him. They tried to scare him, saying, "You may be the son of a moneylender, but you should not be behaving in this way, going in the night to visit a young lady, a daughter of the village. We are taking you to see the king." The moneylender's son's face dropped. The king's men thought, "Does he not see what he does as sinful? We must put some fear into him." They said, "The king is asleep right now, and we don't want to trouble him in the night. If you have something you can put up as bail, then we will let you off now, and you can come back in the morning." To face the king. The moneylender's son went home and asked his relatives to help him. They all refused. "Whatever happens, we will not put up bail for you. We have been telling you to stop for ages, and you did not listen to us." The king's men dragged him along. They said, "No one wants to put up bail for you, so you must be a cheat. We will only let you go if you can find someone to bail you out." The moneylender's son piped up, "I do have my friend and godbrother. He will vouch for me. Let's go to him." The king's men led the son of the moneylender to the son of the merchant's house. They called out to him, and he opened the door. He asked, "It is very late. Where are you coming from?" He replied, "I was at our sister's house and was leaving when these men arrested me. If you can stand bail for me right now, they will let me go, and then I will have to face the king in the morning." The merchant's son piped up, "Yes, I shall vouch for him." He gave them the bail amount, and the king's men left the moneylender's son there. "Now, please do feel free to go home. Nothing will ensue for this. Don't worry about anything. It's not a problem at all." The moneylender's son then said he would like to sleep there. The merchant's son said, "You are most welcome." The merchant's son was most accommodating to his friend. The king's men remarked on how much affection and respect these two had for each other. The next day, the moneylender's son stayed at the merchant's son's house. They began to discuss the Lord's divine pastimes. They became filled with the mood of loving devotion. Afterwards, they partook of Mahaprasad. Soon night fell. The merchant's son, "You should go now to meet the officer's daughter. She will be waiting for you. She will be most anxious, therefore you must go over there." The moneylender's son indeed went to her house. The king's men followed him there. Then he told her the whole story of how he had been arrested as he was leaving the previous night. The king's men tried to scare him, and they asked me tried to scare me, and they asked me what I was doing here, that I should not be regularly attending the home of young ladies. They said that the king would be sleeping, and so I should go to justify myself to him in the morning. They asked me for bail, and I requested my family to help me, but they would not. I then went to see the merchant's son, and he agreed to give me the bail and told me to go home. However, yesterday I did not go home, but stayed with him. We partook of Mahaprasad together, and so I have not been to see the king today. I was afraid to go there. In this way he told her all the details of the events, and that he was upset by all of this. The officer's daughter said, "Oh, my brother, we have done nothing wrong. We are connected through our relationship to the beloved Lord. However, the people of the world have corrupted minds and cannot understand the situation, that Sri Gosaiji always reigns supreme in our minds and hearts. Therefore we have firm faith in him and have maintained our innocence in order to demonstrate his transformational power. He will always grant joyful liberation, so do not worry about a thing. The beloved Lord will make everything good. Tomorrow I shall send one of my maidservants to the court to bring me all the latest news, but no one in the court will be able to do anything to you. I have the power of Sri Gosaiji's grace within me, and if necessary I will be able to release you. Do not have the slightest worry. The king is an insignificant being. You will see how Sri Acharyaji and Sri Gosaiji are able to solve any situation. I myself am as strong as thousands of men." In this way she consoled the son of the moneylender. She then got up to leave and addressed him with the Lord's name. The son of the moneylender returned to the merchant's son's house and slept there. The merchant's son welcomed him and looked after him, serving him very nicely. The next day the king sent some of his men to test the moneylender's son. They asked the merchant's son, "Where is that man for whom you have stood guarantor?" They called out to the moneylender's son. The merchant's son said to the king's men, "Let me come to the court and answer the king on his behalf. I am, after all, his guarantor." He got up to leave. At that time the moneylender's son was asleep inside the house. The merchant's son stood up in court. The king asked him where the moneylender's son was and said, "Call him here. You are only his guarantor, and I need nothing to do with you." The king insisted. The moneylender's son, still at the house, woke up. He asked the merchant's son's wife where he was, and she told him he had gone to the court in his stead. The moneylender's son straightway went to the court and stood in front of the king. The king told his men to take the merchant's son outside and began to interrogate the moneylender's son. "Why have you behaved in this way this wrong and unjust way with this lady who is not your wife? Are you not afraid of me?" He replied, "She is my sister." The king declared, "This is very improper. He calls her his sister and then enjoys her. Put him to death right now. Take him away." The guards led him outside to a place below the palace. The king told his men, "Make him understand, but do not kill him. He says he has done no wrong, but he dallies with this lady who is not his wife. Let us test his tolerance. Put a sword to his throat." He thus instructed the executioners. The daughter of the court officer got to hear of everything that had been said in the court from her maidservant. She dressed herself up as a man, and taking a sword and shield in her hands, mounted a piebald horse and set out. She spurred the horse on and gave it a few lashes with her whip. The horse jumped over a barrier, and they entered the palace grounds. The court officer's daughter came and stood next to the moneylender's son. Waving her sword and shield, she spoke out, taunting the guards. "If any one of you can swear that you are the son of a righteous father, then come and stand in front of me." Not one of them dared to come before her. Then all of the executioners ran away. The king and the court officer were sitting at the window watching all of this. The king said, "This brave soldier's strength has defeated all of my guards. Who is he?" The court officer said, "I do not recognize him." Then he said that he did not feel well, and that he took the king with him out of the court and in a secluded spot revealed everything to him, including that this soldier was his daughter. The king sent away all his guards and told them to say nothing to the moneylender's son nor to her. The king addressed the pair of them. "Your love for each other is laudable. Your endurance is praiseworthy too. Therefore now ask of me anything that you wish." They both said that they had no need nor desire for anything, and the king then suggested to the court officer, "Okay, then let's perform their marriage. They do love each other after all." The two of them piped up, "O king, have you gone mad? How dare you talk like this? We are brother and sister. You are supposed to be a righteous king, so why are you talking in this sinful way?" The king then became pleased with them, gave them both his blessings and sent them home. From then on the two of them continued to meet to discuss the Lord's pastimes. They were now fearless, and so enjoyed much divine bliss. The two of them were always filled with divine joy. Both of them were good-looking and young, but neither of them ever fell to the delusion that they were their bodies, and were thus never obstructed in their devotion by such sensual thoughts. They met in secret to discuss the Lord's divine stories, and soon the Lord began to grant them his direct experience, asking for whatever he wanted. Bhav Prakash. This story demonstrates the form of true love. Pure love requires renunciation, and there is never a trace of sensual enjoyment. The nature of renunciation is superior. For one who knows Sri Gosaiji's disciple Vaishnavas to be pure of mind and innocent can be said to be of perfect purpose. Vaishnavas who wish to engage themselves in the constant repetition of the Lord's pastimes and praises should never fear repercussions from society nor from family. Thus concludes Varta 202, the story of the son of the moneylender, the merchant's son, and the court officer's daughter. They were the recipients of Sri Gosaiji's great grace, and accomplished Vaishnavas. There is no end to their tale. Thus concludes our reading for today. Jai Shri Radhe, Sab Vaishnavan ko Jai Shri Krishna, Aaj ke Anand ki Jai, Shri Gosaiji, Shri Vallabhacharya ji ki Jai ho, Jai Jai Shri Radhe.